Lately, I've noticed something off about my mom, who lives alone. The first thing that popped into my head was dementia. I suggested to my husband and mother-in-law that my mom move in with us, but they wouldn't have it. Instead, I got a, "We're getting a divorce, so get out." Alright then. If you're telling me to leave, I'll leave. But you're the ones who are going to have trouble without me. My name is Molly, 35 years old. I work from home as an illustrator. Right now, I live with my husband John and my mother-in-law Carrie. A few years back, after my father-in-law passed away due to illness, we decided that Carrie would move in with us. I agreed to the arrangement because I was worried about her. Since we had just built a new house, there was no issue with having enough rooms. Setting up a room for her was no trouble at all. However, my husband doesn't make much money. Buying a house was out of the question with just our income, so we had to get financial help from my mom. Carrie seemed really happy to be living with her son, John. After her husband's death, seeing her regain her smile and bounce back after a few months was a relief. But her peaceful days didn't last long. About 6 months into living together, Carrie started picking on me. One day, after eating breakfast I prepared, she let out a big sigh. This is terrible." "What?" "I've been thinking this for a while. What's your intention making me eat something this salty?" "I'm sorry, I did taste it, but I don't want to hear excuses. You're probably trying to get me to eat a lot of salt so I'll die sooner, aren't you?" "That's not true. I wasn't trying to..." On top of that, she would interrupt my work without knocking, telling me, "Hey, Molly, instead of holding up in your room, do some housework." "But Carrie, I'm working right now." "Work? You're just playing on your computer and drawing. How is that work?" "This is my job. I might be drawing, but it's not like I'm playing around." "Don't talk back to me like that. You're just the daughter-in-law. Remember, if you talk back to me again, I'll tell my son you're neglecting your housework." "Neglecting?" But that was just the beginning. She even started demanding money from me. "I only need $700, Molly." "I can't afford that much. It's difficult for me." "You're so stingy. You said you earn money with your computer, didn't you?" It was so brazen of her to only mention earning when it suited her. In the end, I gave in and handed over the money. This situation continued for a while, making it hard for me to work and causing me a lot of stress. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to talk to my husband. "John, I need to talk to you." "What?" "I just got back from work and I'm tired." "Sorry, but can we do something about your mother?" "My mom? What about her?" "She's been interrupting my work, complaining about the housework, and even demanding money. My work isn't getting done and I'm really struggling." He replied sarcastically, as if it were a hassle. "Why do you have to talk to me about such things?" "What?" "If mom's acting like this, it's because you're not doing your job as a wife like you're supposed to. It's your fault. Plus, mom's a homemaker, so you should be happy to give her some spending money." Wait. I do all the housework, and it's not right for me to give in her money." "Obviously, you're not doing the housework right. That's why mom's mad. Think of it as paying for lessons in gratitude, a fee for her teaching you." I was speechless. His words were completely unexpected and left me dizzy. Instead of support, he blamed me. He continued, "Listen, you're the wife. You married into my family, so just shut up and do as you're told." "But..." "Shut up. Mom knows more and has been a housewife longer than you. What she says goes, understand?" "That's just..." "Anyway,
Don't do anything to upset Mom from now on, or I won't forgive you. You just need to do your job as a wife perfectly. Got it?"
He stormed out of the room, yelling, and I just started crying. Why is it always me? Why do I have to be the one blamed? I never imagined living together would turn out like this. I deeply regretted agreeing to it. Then one day, wanted to hear my mom's voice, I called her. "Mom, it's me." "Oh, Molly. Why haven't you called in so long?" "What do you mean? We talked on the phone just 2 days ago." "What are you talking about? You haven't called me in 2 months." "What?" A bad feeling washed over me. Our conversation wasn't adding up. The word dementia flashed through my mind. Worried, I took my mom to the hospital the next day. My bad feeling was confirmed. She was diagnosed with dementia. Even though it was still in the early stages, the doctor said it would be difficult for her to live alone going forward. My mom had me late in life, so she's already over 70. I couldn't believe my energetic mom had dementia. That night, I told my husband and mother-in-law about the hospital visit. "Carrie, John, I need to talk to you." They both looked annoyed. "What is it? It's probably nothing important."
"Does it even concern us?"
"It's about my mom. She was diagnosed with dementia today."
"Dementia? Your mom? Seriously?"
"Yes, and about what we are going to do." I began, but they burst out laughing. "Poor thing, having dementia. We don't want to deal with someone sick."
"Oh, totally. Getting dementia at her age? How weak is her brain?"
"Wait a minute. That's no way to talk." Despite my confusion, they burst into laughter. "Dementia, is something that happens to people who live their lives in a daze."
"Exactly. She got it because she lives thoughtlessly, just like you."
"Please stop. How can you say such terrible things?" "Well, it's the truth, isn't it?"
"Right, Mom. We're just telling the truth here."
"That's just..." Their rudeness made my vision blur.
"You're not thinking of taking care of her yourself, are you?"
"Of course, I was hoping we could live together in this house."
"Oh, hell no. Why should we have to live with someone who has dementia?"
"Someone with dementia? It's my mom, and her symptoms are still mild. She can take care of herself."
"That's not the point. We're definitely not living together."
"I accepted living with your mother, so living with mine should be..." Then John slammed the table and glared at me.
"Don't push it. Don't compare my healthy mother to your sick one. Got it? I will never agree to living together."
"Don't say that. If something happens to my mother, I won't be able to live with myself."
"Like I care. Whether you regret it or whatever happens to your mom, it's none of our business. You're just supposed to listen to us since you married into this family."
Despite my attempts to persuade them, their attitude remained unchanged. So I decided to make a different proposal. If living together isn't possible, at least let me visit my mom.
"What are you saying? If you do that, what about the household chores here?"
I'll manage the chores as well as I can. I'm really worried about my mom. Please."
"No."
"But why?"
"Well, duh. If you go to your mom's, we'll have to spend on transportation and hospital bills, making our finances worse."
"It's my money, so it should be fine."
"No, it's not okay. I absolutely won't allow you to visit your mom."
Not only was living together was out of the question, but even visiting my mom was forbidden. My mother-in-law, who had been listening in, piled on. "Molly, you really don't understand your place." "Carrie, please, I'm worried about my mom." "Shut up. You're supposed to listen to me and my son as our daughter-in-law." "But..." "Enough. If you keep this up, I'll have John divorce you. How dare you defy us as a daughter-in-law? Get out! Once she mentioned divorce, my husband joined in with a smirk.
Ooh, divorce sounds good. A wife who prioritizes a sick person over her marital home is no longer needed.
Are you serious? You're hardly making anything with your so-called illustrator job, and yet you act so entitled. It is a respectable job.
Enough. Divorce it is. If you want to take care of a sick person so badly, then just leave.
At that moment, all the anger I had been holding back exploded. I couldn't stand them mocking my mother or me any longer. These people are no longer my family. If that's how it is, I'll leave. I finally made up my mind and clearly told them. Understood. If that's how it is, I'll leave. For a moment, they looked surprised, but then quickly reverted to their usual sarcastic smiles.
Oh, is that so? Well, do as you please. Leave quickly.
I never thought you'd actually leave. I'm so happy. I'll pack my things and go back to my parents' house. Just send the divorce papers by mail.
Oh, sure. I'll get them from the city hall tomorrow and send them right away.
This is perfect. The annoying daughter-in-law is leaving, and I get to live alone with my lovely son. Well then, I'll go pack my things.
Hurry up. We are having a party tonight.
Oh, what a good idea. Let's order some food. This house was a joke. Ignoring their excitement, I started packing immediately. Soon after, smiling broadly, they saw me off as I left the house. A few days later, the divorce papers arrived, and I signed and submitted them immediately. When I told my mom, she said with regret, "I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's because of me." What are you talking about? I feel relieved not having those terrible people as my family anymore. When I heard about the living together plan, I was actually worried. That mother-in-law of yours, she's a bit odd, isn't she? I should have done more to stop the construction of the new house. I'm really sorry. Hey, Mom, don't apologize. I'm happy living with you now. Molly, thank you, Molly. Is everything going okay with that other thing? Yes, it's all good. It's already being handled. Showing her the documents, my mom laughed wickedly. That's right. This isn't ending with just a divorce. The revenge against you starts now. 2 weeks later, as expected, my frantic ex-husband called.
Hey, what are you thinking?
What?
Don't play dumb. The paperwork for selling the house arrived. You sent it, didn't you?
Yes, that's correct. Just as it says. Is there a problem?
Don't mess with me. Selling this house? I'll never allow such a thing.
The first thing I did after divorcing my husband was to sell the house we lived in with his mother. John, seemingly forgetting the circumstances of the house's construction, raged at me in frustration.
How come you can sell the house in the first place? That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous? How so?
That house is ours. Since we're divorced, I expect a fair division of assets.
I couldn't help but laugh at his misguided statement. Are you an idiot? Division of assets? Don't make me laugh.
What's so funny?
You really don't know anything, do you? How tight our finances were.
That's because you didn't earn enough. I have savings.
No, you're wrong.
What?
I had to give money to your mother almost every day because she kept demanding it. That's why my savings are almost gone. So, if we were to divide anything, I'd only get half of your savings.
You're kidding.
He apparently didn't know that my savings were nearly depleted. Still, he stubbornly continued.
But we have the house. Our house.
Our house? It's going to be on the market.
Don't decide that on your own. Me and Mom live here. If you really say so, give me half of the selling price.
Hey, have you forgotten? When we bought that house, my mom bought it outright on our behalf because we couldn't get a loan.
Oh, was that so?
Back then, I wasn't earning much, and you had just changed jobs to a low salary. That's why my mom paid in full. I just reconfirmed the property deed with my mom. The house is in my mom's name.
Ah, now that you mention it, that was the case. I left everything to you back then.
I thought so. But now you understand, right? We don't have the right to decide whether to sell the house. It's up to my mom, and she's fully on my side. Do you understand what that means?
Ah.
Finally, realizing the situation he was in, he began to plead in a tearful voice.
Please, wait. If we lose the house, what will happen to me and Mom?
I don't care. I've already submitted the divorce papers, and we're strangers now. I have no obligation to help you.
Don't say that. I apologize for everything until now. Just leave the house at least.
So what? You're going to buy the house outright from my mom?
Don't be ridiculous. That's impossible, you wicked woman.
His true feelings slipped out, and he showed an awkward reaction. I seized the moment to continue. Asking for help now? You think such a convenient request will work? Are you stupid or something? After all the times you and your mother ridiculed me, you think we can just pretend it never happened? You brought this on yourself.
Wait, please. I'm begging you.
I'm truly glad to be free from you, despicable mother and son. I'll live with my mom from now on. I couldn't care less what happens to you two. You both might as well sink to the bottom of hell together. I hung up on him and blocked his contact. Thus, I was finally freed from those two. Afterwards, they apparently started living together in a cramped apartment. Carrie had never worked outside being a homemaker, and John earned a meager salary. Their downfall was easy to imagine. Carrie now works part-time at a supermarket, scrambling every day. On the other hand, my mom and I live peacefully together. Fortunately, her symptoms for dementia are still mild. However, it's certain that things will become more difficult in the future. That's why I want to spend as much time as possible with my mom, my only family. I've vowed to cherish the remaining time I have with my mom.